Hello. You might be able to see into my bathroom. I don't care. Let me make sure everything looks good. There's like a 2-minute delay for some reason. Does this even do anything? This doesn't even do anything when I move the camera. A 2-minute delay for some reason. Alright. I am not prepared. I got lazy, to be honest. I was going to have everything all set up and just didn't happen. While I'm getting things figured out here, what am I going to do? Let's get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Okay. You didn't see any of that. So originally, I was going to... Oh my lord. I was going to have like 3 streams tonight. Stream for like 7-8 hours. Dog's over here licking the floor. It's better than the window. But I got some really good news on the school front. So originally I was entering my second to final. Pablo, come on. No, they don't want to hear you smacking your lips. I was entering my second to final term, and I was looking, and the classes I was taking this term was my final gen ed I needed, and my final free elective. By the way, like, subscribe, all that nonsense if you are part of the rewatch team or if you're watching live. It helps out a lot trying to grow this thing. But anyway, I like, this is dumb. I'm just gonna email my advisor, have her call me, and see if I can't just take my last gen ed and free elective on Sophia. Sophia is like this online class alternative thing. It's like $100 a month. You can take like unlimited classes in that month. So I could spend like $100, take those 2 classes that transfer over to my, degree. And the classes are stupid simple. They're basically freebies. They're basically free credits or cheap credits. Do that and then move up my final term classes to start, when the term starts, and then I can graduate and I could be done in. Oh, let's not update drivers right now. I can graduate in October or be done in October. And she's like, yep, that's a very good plan, which is awesome because now I have the option, because before I was going to be done in December and I was going to have to wait to February to start the grad program. Now I have an option of being done in October, the end of October, and I could start the grad program in November if I choose to, or I can take a break and still start in February. Haven't quite decided yet what I'm going to do there. I'm like 50-50. It'd be nice to get like a 4-month head start, but it also would be nice to take a little breather because I've been going hard since August of 2022. I haven't taken any time off full time while working full time. Sometimes working way extra hours. So yeah, some very good news. So this is going to be a relatively short stream, whereas I had originally thought it would be like a 3-hour stream where I was just working on Anki slides. But I'll probably go for about an hour, and then end the stream, and then work on my Sophia. Try to bang out the last class I need. I did a class yesterday for my social sciences. I'm still need to do my free elective. It only took like 2 hours. I mean, a lot of it's just common sense, and it's not hard. Let's put it that way. So I was hoping that I could, in between this stream and the Python stream, hopefully either finish it up or get to a point where I can finish it up still after the Python stream. So do this for about an hour. Now what I was going to do, so that way I'm not like let me make sure real quick. I made sure I had audio, but I didn't actually pay attention to whether or not my camera is on. Okay, it's on. I'm going to net plus objectives. So this is the objectives for the Network Plus, and theoretically there should be either terms to know or acronyms to know. There's also like these port numbers I can make slides on. I'm just trying to avoid doing it on the Jason Dion practice test. Yeah, right here. Like all these acronyms. There's pages. Oh, I guess there's only 2 pages. But there's got to be, 100 or more acronyms that you need to know. CompTIA, if you've never taken a CompTIA test, they like to give you acronyms. Instead of having a question about access control list, it may just say ACL, and you have to know what the ACL means. If you don't know what the ACL means, you're screwed. And a lot of it too, if you just knew the acronyms, it makes it easier too. They may say they may give you like an end of life question, and the things could be like EOL, SOL, and just give you random acronyms to choose from. So just by knowing the acronyms, you can a lot of times kind of narrow down the correct answer. So we're going to make some Anki slides that have to do with acronyms. Let's get rid of this. Let me make sure. Get rid of this. Alright, so basically what I'm wanting to do is I have upgraded my streaming game. I don't know if I can do this without yeah. Oh jeez, my microphone's not even facing me. That might help a little bit. I did get a third monitor because when I was doing this last time, I was running out of space. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Copilot over here. I have the objectives here. Actually, let's open up Anki sometime today. Here we go. Let's do Yeah. Okay. Let's do add. So we have, there should be a way of keeping this on top. At least there is on my Linux machine. I'm not seeing it. Anyway, so what I want to do is, I've never tried. Usually, last time I took the 8 Plus, I used Chat GPT. I never used Copilot for this, so we are going to see what it can do. I want to say can here. Can you give me a question? Let's see. Can you give me a question for the CompTIA Net Plus exam that involves the acronym A, which I literally woke up from a nap not too long ago, so I gotta get the brain warmed up here. Which stands for address. Let's just see what this does. Absolutely. A network administrator is configuring a subnet for a small office with 14 devices. The administrator's IP address. I don't want broadcast. No. I want it to include the acronym for address A, for address, not an actual subnetting question. Which of the following protocols uses the acronym MAC, where A stands for add? Well, I mean, Copilot. The test isn't going to be this easy. Let me see if I can give it. How about no. Here is an example of what. It's probably just going to give me what I want. What I want. In regards to networking, the acronym A stands for ... See what that. In regard, why is there? Why are there stars? Want me to build a full acronym drill set with randomized letters and distractors, or maybe a matching, exercise where you pair acronyms with their meanings. So in regards to networking, the acronym A stands for Access Address Application Authenticity. Well, let's see what... We'll go with it. Add. Get rid of these stupid stars. And I don't know why random things are bolded. So we'll do correct answer, address. I really wish this would stay on top. answer is address. And then maybe I'll say, can you give me a brief summary of what address is? I mean, it's kind of a no duck question, but there's going to be some of these like that I'm not going to really know. No. Can you give me a summary of what address is? To go along with the answer. And network and address is a unique. Oh, okay. MAC address layer 2. That's a nice touch. IP port address to go use application. Sure. Yeah. There we go. That works. This doesn't need to be on screen. All right. Here we go. There we go. Number 1. And then we'll do give me a question in the style I asked for ACL access control list. Okay, address. One of the things you got to pay attention to also, I don't know if Copilot would do this, but when I was doing this with ChatGPT a while back, it would like make all the answers A and not like mix it up. So that's going to be something to kind of pay attention to. Oh, maybe I don't know. I was going to say maybe the wrong answers are starred, but that had a couple in the last one that wasn't starred. And the neighbor decides to mow his yard right now. I don't know if that's coming through or not. All right, and then so it's access control lists, and then we'll just say, can you give me a summary of what an access control list is? So an access control list, ACL, is a set of rules used to filter network traffic and control access to resources based on criteria like IP addresses, protocol types, port numbers, direction of traffic, inbound or outbound. ACLs are commonly applied on routers, firewalls, and switches to enforce security policies. They determine whether packets are permitted or denied as they pass through a device. There are two main types. Standard ACLs filter traffic based on source IP addresses. Extended ACLs filters traffic based on source destination IP protocol, or source destination IP protocol and port. ACLs are essential for segmenting network, restricting access to sensitive systems, and shaping traffic flow. I can sketch that out for your channel's next segment. I mean, if we did a deep dive on of each one of these, we'd be here forever. All right, two done. Authentication header. I mean, that's probably just a guess. Has to do with like the packets going through. Can you give me a question in the style I asked for AH application header. 4.4. Okay. Application host, authentication header, address handler, access hub. I'll leave those bolded. I don't care that much. So everything's been A and B so far. Can you give me a brief summary of what a authentication header is? This is a concise summary of authentication header tailored for your Network Plus prep. Authentication header is a protocol within the IPsec suite that provides data integrity, ensures the packet hasn't been altered in transit. So yeah, it has to do with the packets. Authentication verifies the identity of the sender. Anti-replay protection prevents attackers from resetting captured packets. Unlike ESP, encapsulating security payload. Is that one of those? Yep, right there. AH does not encrypt the data. Oh yeah, because I think, if I remember correctly, basically the header is encrypted. It's not encrypted. And then if you want a encrypted header, then you have to move over to ESP. Then it kind of encrypts everything. It protects the packet's authenticity and integrity only. AAH operates at layer 3 network layer and is often used in secure VPNs and site-to-site tunnels where verifying trust is essential. Okay. How did we ever do any of this without chat or without AI? People hate on AI, but when it comes to like this stuff, it's pretty good. I mean, it may not get everything 100%, but it's going to be better than as if I didn't use it. You give me a question in the style asked for AP. I have an access point sitting on my desk. In regards to networking, the acronym AP stands for Application Protocol, Access Point, Address Path, Authentication Proxy. And we know it's going to be access point. It's B again. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to kind of manually A, B, C, D. Switch it up. I mean, it's going to be too easy if I know I have a 50-50 shot, you know, if it's A or B. Access point. Can you give me a... I mean, an access point is pretty common sense when it comes to networking, but it doesn't hurt because, you know, you're in a long sesh of doing slides and the brain starts melting and even the easy stuff starts to get hard. So can you give me a brief summary of what an access point is? An access point is a networking device that allows wireless devices to connect to a wired network. Access point. This is an old Cisco. What is this? AirLap 1141 and AK9. Bought a bunch of Cisco stuff and I thought I was going to be a superhero and get a CCNA. Got a router sitting here. I got two different routers sitting here. Two different layer 3 switches sitting here. So a wireless device connect to a wired network using Wi-Fi or other wireless standards and acts as a bridge between wireless clients like laptops, phones, or IoT devices, and the wired infrastructure, typically via Ethernet. The key functions of an AP include extending network coverage in homes, office, or public spaces, managing wireless connections and traffic, broadcasting SSIDs. Forget what SSID stands for, but it's like the name of the wireless connection you're connecting to, and enterprise setups. That's another thing too. It's like sometimes my brain doesn't remember what the actually stands for, but at the same time I recognize it for what it is. APs are often centrally managed through a wireless LAN controller, enabling scalable and secure deployment. Okay. I assume like this centrally managed through a wireless LAN controller. So like mine would be like Unify or Ubiquity. I'm guessing the actual software is managing it. Let's copy this. I need another nap already. This is hard work. My phone's gonna die. Let's get this thing plugged in. Again, if you are joining late, please smash that like button, subscribe if you haven't for more really bad content. Share. If you know anybody that's also studying for the Net Plus, share it with them. Maybe they'll find something that through this content that will help them along the way. Maybe they didn't know about Anki slides, and now they would, because it's an awesome study tool to have. Let's add that. Now we have API, Application Programming Interface. Trying to think what an API would be. Application Programming Interface. So is that like the same thing as an IDE, but maybe not as deep? API. I can't think of what API is. Give me a question. A question in the style. I can't type anyway. I really can't type right now. Can you give me a question in the style that I asked for API Application Programming Interface? In regards to networking, the acronym API stands for, see, it's A again, Access Protocol. So we're going to change that. Let's just go ahead and make that a D. So we'll change these A, B, C, and D. So, can you give me a brief summary of what a API is? What is an application program interface. API is a set of rules and tools that allows different software applications to communicate with each other. Oh, I was way off. Defines how requests are made, what data is exchanged, and how responses are delivered. In networking and system integration, APIs are used to automate tasks like configuring routers or firewalls. Oh, okay. Access services such as cloud platforms or databases enable interoperability between apps, devices, or systems. Think of an API as a menu in a restaurant. It tells you what you can order, functions, how to ask for it, syntax, and what you'll get back, response. You don't need to know how the kitchen works, just how to place the order or your order. Okay. I kind of like how it gave a little example. A pipa is basically an internal internal network that doesn't connect to the outside internet. Let's see. Can you give me question in the style I asked for a pipa? Yeah, so it's like DHCP, but for internal networks. Okay, this made it C already. Thank you. Thank you. I can live with another C. Can you give me a brief summary of what a pipa is? What is. A pipa is a feature in Windows operating system that automatically assigns an IP address from the 169 whatever range when a device fails to receive an IP address from a DHCP server. This allows devices on the same local network to communicate with each other without manual configuration or a functioning DHCP server. Basically, if you set up a computer and you're expecting to go out to the internet and you get one of these, you're not having a good day. It enables basic local connectivity, does not support routing to external networks like the internet. Useful for troubleshooting DHCP failures. Yeah, so if you got one of these instead of whatever your regular subnet or whatever is, you're likely having a DHCP issue. Think of a pipa as a fallback safety net, keeps local communication alive when dynamic IP assignments break down. Very nice, very nice. Okay. ARP. ARP's one of those fun ones. Oops, did I? Can you give me a question? Hold on there. A question in the style I asked for ARP. Address resolution. Okay, before I click enter, what's it going to be? I'm guessing it's going to be C again. I think it's probably going to be stuck on C. Oh, it is B. ARP. Can't think off the top of my head of what ARP actually is, but it's one that you hear a lot. It's just been a minute since I've actually had to worry about what ARP is. Give me but that's why we're doing this. Address Resolution Protocol, ARP, is a network protocol used to map a known IP address to its corresponding MAC address. Oh, okay. Within a local network. It operates at the network 3 layer of the OSI model, but interacts directly with the data link layer, layer 2. Here's how it works. When a device wants to send data to another device on the same subnet, it knows the destination's IP address, but needs its MAC address as sort of a safety tool, I believe, ARP sends a broadcast request. Who has this IP? The device with that IP replies with its MAC address. The sender stores this info in the ARP cache for future use. Without ARP, devices wouldn't know how to physically deliver packets on a LAN. It's a translator between logical and physical addresses. And if my memory serves, like a MAC address, so basically all devices have a its own unique MAC address. So like your cell phone would have one, your computer would have one, nothing else in the world would have theoretically the same MAC address, if memory serves. Acceptable use policy. I had my last class delved into ops quite a bit. The thing that nobody reads. Give me a question in the style I asked for op. Acceptable use policy. What do you think it's going to be? I think it's going to be, I'm guessing A. We haven't had an A for a while. Nope, B again. That's fine. We can have 2 B's in a row. Was it the last one B? I've already forgot. Doesn't matter. Once I go through the slides a couple of times, they'll all get mixed up. It'll be a lot harder to remember that there's 3 B's in a row. Oh, it gave me a summary. Beautiful. I don't even have to ask for it. Hold on, I'll copy it over and then we'll read it. An acceptable use policy is a formal document that outlines the rules and guidelines for using an organization's network system and internet access. It defines what users can and cannot do, helping to prevent misuse of resources, protect sensitive data and systems, and ensure compliance with legal and ethical standards. Ops are often signed by employees, students, or contractors before gaining access to a network. Violating the AUP can result in disciplinary action or loss of access. Very good. Border gateway protocols. I have no idea what this is. Can you give me a question in the style I asked for BGP? Border gateway protocol. Now we're flying through these. Only 900 more to go. Oh, we got another B. Let's we'll switch this one up. We haven't had an A for a while. So let's do this. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do A. Let's do B. Oh, did it give me a summary? Okay, it gave me a summary. So we'll just do this. Border Gateway Protocol, BGP, is a path vector routing protocol. Path vector routing protocol. Is that going to be something that comes up later? Path. Alright, so used to exchange routing information between autonomous systems. That's not what I need. On the internet. It's the backbone of global internet routing, determining the most efficient path for data to travel across multiple networks. Key traits: operates at layer 3 network layer, supports policy-based routing and scalability, used by ISPs and large enterprises to manage external routing, BGP doesn't just find the shortest path, it finds the best path based on routing policies, trust relationships, and network performance. So let's say, what is a path vector routing protocol? A path vector routing protocol is a type of routing protocol that maintains the entire path or route that a packet should take to reach its destination, rather than just the next hop. Each route advertises include a list of autonomous systems that the route has transferred. The most well-known example is the backbone of the internet. So my question is, how does it know the path? So does it have to do with like a routing table? Exchange routing information with their neighbors using route advertisement. Oh, okay. Passes through, for example. Okay. As AS path is stored and shared with the BGP routers. When a router receives multiple paths to the same destination, it uses BGP path selection rules to choose the best one, often preferring the shortest path, but also considering factors like local preference, origin type, and MED, multi-exit discriminator. Is that something that comes up? Doesn't look like it. So is it that routers are sharing their routing tables? Question mark. You're right to zero in on that. Yes, but with a twist. Of course it's with a twist. It can't just be that easy. Routers running BGP do share routing information, but they don't dump their entire routing tables like gossip sessions gone wild. Instead, they advertise specific routes to their neighbors and each route it's including. So basically, it is sharing the routing in table information that pertains to the packet. I nailed it. It took me a minute to get there, but I got there in the end. Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't want to do a database dump or a routing table dump, but I think that'd be a security issue. Here is a route I can offer to reach network X, and here's the AS path that that traffic will follow to get there. Okay, I think I got that figured out for the moment. Whether or not I forget it or remember it 5 minutes from now, doubt it. Bayonet Neil Consulman. Oh, I remember Professor Messer talking about this. BNC. Bayonet Neil Consulman. I don't remember what it is. Give me a question in the style I asked for BNC. Bayonet Neil Consulman. Bayonet Neil Consulman. It's the dude that invented VPNs. It's the coaxial cable connector. Dang it, I knew that. I wasn't thinking actual copper connectors. Dang it, it's the ones you push in and turn. So dumb. So dumb. VPNs was like one of the last videos I remember watching on it. Or B again. We'll leave it at B. what am I doing? I could just... Alright, let's read this. Programming later is going to be interesting. I really should be wearing my glasses for this. It's been a long day, on top of it, doing all this reading on top of it. I'm just going to keep saying on top of it. BNC refers to a type of coaxial cable connector. There's a fruit fly for some reason. Commonly used in older networking setups, especially with 10-base-2 Ethernet, analog video, and radio frequency applications. It features a bayonet-style locking mechanism that ensures a secure physical connection. Used with coax cables, RG58, provides quick connect-disconnect with a twist-lock design found in legacy Ethernet network CCTV systems, and test equipment. While largely replaced by twisted pair and fiber optics in modern networks, BNC connectors still appear in specialized environments. I don't know, I might see it. Do we see them in DOCSIS? We see them in DOCSIS. Not typically. Heavily on 75 ohm coaxial cables. I honestly didn't know there was like difference in coaxial cables. Okay. BSSID, Basic Service Set Identifier. I don't know what a BSSID stands for. Give me a question. Oh my gosh. Question in the style I asked for BSSID, Basic Service Set Identifier. Okay, we're going to switch this one up a little bit. I got to remember, too, if I switch it, if I copy this here, I got to remember to switch that. I mean, it'll be easy to figure out what I did later on if I forget to, and I can always change it within the app that when I'm doing the slides. But still, it'd be nice to do it right the first time. Let's go with D, as in dumb. I need to oil this chair. Get some Dub D40. Alright. BSSID. The BSSID uniquely identifies a wireless access point in a Wi-Fi network. It's typically the MAC address of the access point's radio interface and is used to distinguish between multiple APs in the same extended service set, ESS. So a BSSID does not equal SSID. SSID in the network is the name you see, whereas the BSSID is the unique hardware ID behind it. So is it like the MAC address? Crucial for roaming between APs and enterprise networks. It helps clients decide which AP to associate with based on signal strength. So is it the MAC address of course, I don't have a nuance. That's just a fancy way of saying you're not right. The BSS ID is typically the MAC address of the wireless access point's radio interface. So a router with multiple radios or interfaces are going to have multiple BSS IDs. So that way the device connects to a specific radio. If your router has one SSID, one radio, and one band, then yes, it's essentially the MAC. Multi-band, or I mean, everything's pretty much multi-band these days. I would think. Each tied to its own MAC ad. Okay, so your run-of-the-mill router would have multiple BSSIDs or multiple MAC addresses. So a router with, say, 6 radios would have 7. You would think the device itself would have one for each radio and one for the device as a whole. I'm not sure when I'll take it. I don't have it like scheduled. I don't know. It's like a $350 test. So it's gonna be a minute before I actually buy the voucher and schedule it. It's one I only want to take once if I can help it. For the device. Exactly. Often tied to the WAN port or the management interface. So yeah, 7. Okay. Good enough. So. Bring your own device. That one's easy. That's like when you bring your cell phone to work day. Oops. BYOD. Can you give me a question in the style I asked for BYOD? Bring your own device. Back to just B's. That's all we're given. Or B's. Let's change it to C. And then, do we really need to read the summary? Might as well. Got changes to a C. BYOD refers to a policy that allows employees to use their personal devices to access corporate resources like email files and internet apps. Which I keep a laptop at work for this sort of a thing. When I have some downtime or lunch breaks, I'll pull it out and do schoolwork and stuff on it, so that way I'm not using the company computer. Security risk: personal devices may lack enterprise-grade protection, increasing vulnerability to data breaches. MDM solutions companies often deploy mobile device management, MDM, to enforce security policies. Good companies do. Cost savings reduces hardware costs for employers, but shifts support complexity to IT teams. User freedom. Employees prefer familiar devices, boosting productivity. Yeah, it reduces hardware costs for employers. When you work for $1 billion company, they can buy or pay for the. They could pay for the devices. I mean, they could give you options. They don't, but they should. All right, yeah. I mean, that one's really self-explanatory. I can't talk. I started late, and I started this late, so we'll keep going for a little while longer. Well, let's get through. We'll get through some more. Content address memory. Content addressable memory. CAM. I don't know what that is. So can you give me a question in the style I asked for CAM? Content addressable memory 4.4. B again. We're just on the B train. We'll keep it B. Why not? All right. All right. So content addressable memory. CAM is a specialized type of memory used in network switches to perform fast lookup of MAC addresses. Okay. Unlike traditional memory, which retrieves data by address, CAM retrieves data by content, making it ideal for tasks like MAC address table lookups, forwarding decisions in layer 2 switches, real-time packet switching with minimal latency. It's the backbone of how switches know which port to forward a frame to, based on the destination MAC address. I feel like there's a lot to uncover there. Like forwarding decisions, real-time packet switching. Which port to follow? Interesting. Because I thought ports were like a layer 3. Would be layer 3 switching. Let's see. Wouldn't ports be layer 3? The term port can refer to very different things depending on the OSI layer you're talking about. Layer 2, data link layer, switch ports. The physical interface on. Oh, they mean the port you plug your Ethernet cable into. So the actual port you plug the Ethernet into. Okay. That's where I was confused. Gotcha. Makes sense. Content Delivery Network, CDN. The question in the style I asked for CDN. Content Delivery Network. It's going to be B. You're being lazy, Copilot. You're being lazy. Quit being lazy. Let's make it A. We haven't done an A for a while. So, A, B. Did I change that last one? I don't think I did. At least I don't remember doing it. That'd be alright. I'll change it when I come across the slide. Change this to A. All right, CDN. A CDN is a globally distributed network of servers designed to deliver web content like images, videos, video scripts, and entire websites to users based on. Oh my gosh. Let's try this again. A CDN is a globally distributed network of servers designed to deliver web content like images, videos, scripts, and entire websites to users based on their geographic location. Oh yeah. So you have like servers all across the world, and kind of depending on where you're at, you connect to those servers. To reduce latency to improve load time, scalability, and security. CDNs are essentially for platforms like YouTube, Netflix, and even your own glitchy channel if you scale up to global reach, which I have a global reach on YouTube, so don't be throwing shade at my little channel there, Copilot. I got reach. All right. I've got to use the potty, so I'm going to take a 2-minute break here. We'll do notepad. I've been drinking lots of water. Be back in that's at 2 minutes. This will let me can I change the font size on? I don't think I've ever tried to do that. I will be back in 2 minutes. Use the potty, and then I'll probably stream until 5 o'clock. BRB. Alright. I meant to turn my camera off there, so that way you didn't look into my bathroom, but or part of the bathroom. But I failed to do that. So, fun times. I'm trying to do something here real quick. Bear with me here for 2 minutes. Another 2 minutes. 2 minutes, Turkish. I know. I said 2 minutes 2 minutes ago. That's what happens when I'm not prepared. That's not what I want. That's not what I want. That's what I want. This is what I want. That's not what I want. I don't know what I am doing. There we go. Then wonder why I can't like edit my freaking this isn't doing what I want it to do. Alright, let's try this again. And then, no. This doesn't make it easy on me. That's for sure. Do that. Do that. Do that. That didn't work. Let's try and put my link to my Streamlabs. Let's remove that. I'm just going to have to. Whatever, it doesn't matter. Alright. Let's make a couple more slides. I'll have to get my streamer stuff figured out. Oh my gosh, why doesn't this like me? Okay, 1 second. Bear with me. Alright. Alright, sorry. Alright, CDP, Cisco Discovery Protocol. Let me do... Now I'm on another mission because I don't understand why this is being... There we go. Why it wasn't working for me? Well, how do I... Hold on. Do this. View my channel. Do that. Why isn't this? Nobody would want to support the channel. If you would like to support Report my channel. I should have had this done and ready to go. Save. Now, is it in there? Okay. Got in the description there is a link to my Streamlabs tip jar if you would like to support the channel. Anything so graciously donated would just go right back into the channel, like helping me pay for the third monitor I just bought and so on and so forth. Obviously not expected, but appreciated. Thumbs up, share with those that you know are taking the test, and that way, you know, maybe someday someone who's also studying for the test will stop by and I'll have a little study buddy. All right, sorry, got it figured out now. I still don't know why, though, I can't talk in my own stream. And that's really or type in my own stream. That is really annoying. I mean, I guess I could log onto my other channel and then type it, but then that would just be weird. Yeah, I'll play around with the night or with the stream bot. All right, for real this time. So Cisco Discovery Protocol (CDP). Maybe I'll finish out the C's since I've spent so much time screwing around here. Where did Copilot go? There we go. We'll finish out the C's. That'll be a good place anyway. A, B, and C done. So can you give me a question in the style I asked for CDP Cisco Discovery Protocol? I don't know what this is. So, and I even listened to a few of the the big Cisco guy's video. I think he's Australian. Cisco Discovery Protocol. Oh, look at that. It gave me an A this time. We'll keep it as an A. And then we'll copy this. And then we will add that. And then we will read this. Cisco Discovery Protocol. I was smart enough to grab my glasses while I got up, but I wasn't smart enough to put them on. Oh, yeah. Is a proprietary Layer 2 protocol developed by Cisco that allows Cisco devices to discover and share information about directly connected neighbors. So it's like the BGP then, but for Cisco. Operates at Layer 2. Shares details like device ID, IP address, interfaces, platform, and capabilities. Useful for now. So maybe it's a little more. Excuse me. It's a little more thorough than BGP. Useful for network mapping, troubleshooting, and inventory management. Only works between Cisco devices or devices that support CDP. For multi-vendor environments, the open standard alternative is LLDP. Link Layer Discovery Protocol. So let's ask, so what's the difference between CDP, dyslexia is real today, and BGP? Look at that. That was a great question. Might be cousins in the protocol family, but they're actually operating in totally different realms of networking. Let's break it down glitch style. Copilot. Enough. So, purpose, device discovery on a local network is CDP. Okay, so it's a local thing versus an internet. Okay, so I get it. Layer 2 versus layer 3, local, global. So it's a local, version of BGP for Cisco devices. Oh, dang it. I should have read the whole thing before I said that. Name tags at a LAN party. Wow. Who wants to do a LAN party and play some Diablo 2, old school? Hi, I'm a Cisco switch on Gig 01 running. Okay. Oh, that's a rabbit hole I don't really feel like jumping down right now. CIA, confidentiality, integrity, and availability. Well, now we're getting into some cyber security. Let's start the Mr. Robot. Can you give me a question style I asked for CIA? Confidential. I'm not going to spell that right. I did. Integrity and availability. Now we're back to B. Let's switch that up. I haven't gone from a B to a D in a minute. We'll just go from B to D. Oops. So make that a B. Make that a C. Make that a D. You see what I was saying though? It like gets stuck on like one choice there, and I just, before you know it, it's all the same. And then I gotta change this to D. Alright. The CIA triad is the foundational model for information security. It defines 3 core principles. Confidentiality, with sunglasses, ensuring that sensitive data is only accessible to authorized users. Think encryption, access controls, and authentication. Integrity ensures that the data is accurate and unaltered. Includes hashing, checksums, and version control. And availability, ensuring systems and data are accessible when needed. Through redundancy, failover, and uptime guarantees. Oh, so, that one's easy. Ooh, CIDR. Now we're getting into subnetting. CIDR, or subnetting. That one's going to be... So, Professor Messer gives like 3 or 4 different ways of doing it. And some of the ways that are supposed to be really easy, I feel like they're overcomplicated. One of the things, okay, so subnetting would be so much easier. Like in the real world, you have access to tables and calculators, so on and so forth. Of course, for the test, you get none of that. So unless you memorize the table and write down the table while you're taking the test, that's the annoying part of these tests, is that things like like subnetting tables, everyone has access to them. Everyone has a device in their pocket that is connected to the internet, can look up any information they want at any time. It'd be a good idea, of course, knowing what it is, but in the real world, okay, there's going to be people out there that just so down that it's second nature. But those of us who are new, we would still have access to these things. So memorizing that, or memorizing how to figure out your broadcast and all that stuff, by doing it the old-fashioned way, it's just kind of mean. Can you Give me a question in the style I asked for CIDR. Class interdomain routing. That's another one. I know what CIDR is, sort of. I mean, but class interdomain routing. If you would ask me without that there, what CIDR stands for, we have an A. We'll keep it an A. Why not? If they give us an A again, we'll change it. What did I do? Everything's bolded. It'll be alright. As long as it's all standard. That's all that really matters. Alright. In before, I read the summary and it has nothing to do with subnetting, but I'm pretty sure it does. CIDR revolutionized IP addresses by ditching the rigid class-based system A, B, and C. Yeah, so your class A's and B's and C's are like a range of IP addresses. You know, I don't have those memorized off the top right now, but yeah, you can basically mix and match, if I remember right. More efficient IP allocation, no more wasting huge blocks of unused addresses, flexible subnetting, networks can be sized precisely using slash notation, and improved routing integration. Routers can summarize routes, reducing table size performance. CIDR is the reason we have granular control over IP ranges like 10.0.0.0/8 or 172.16.0.0/12 being stuck in the legacy boundary. So slash A member is 255.0.0.0. Slash 16 would be 255.255.0.0, and 30 8 16 24 would be 255.255.0. I was trying to double it again. I'm like, wait, slash 32 would not be. I don't know if slash 32 is even a thing. I don't think it is. I don't think you have enough to get your broadcast, your whatever, your first and your last and your whatever. So yeah. CLI, command line interface. That's your command line stuff. That's one of those easy ones, but we'll make sure we still get a slide on it. You never know when I might have a brain fart. Give me a question, the style I asked for CLI. Command line interface. Absolutely. Here's a tech-themed acronym for recognition question for... I'm slipping into insanity. There's only a few more left for the C's. Only a few more left. We can make it. We'll keep this one an A. This one's not going to be one that I need a lot of reminders for. Fish. I never heard of fish. What's fish? Z shell. Bash is what's Z shell? Is that Linux also, or is that Unix or something? I don't remember. Bash is Linux. PowerShell's Windows. CMD is Windows. We'll dive a little deeper into this one, just to find out what fish and Z shell is. Is Z shell Mac, or is it also still Linux or Unix or? What is Z shell. So it's a Unix shell like Bash. Okay. More user-friendly features, easier to customize, default shell on Mac OS. Okay, so that's what I was kind of thinking. Oh, so Kali Linux. So there's other functions. So what is fish? Never heard of fish. Okay, friendly interactive shell. Excuse me. Default on. Oh, okay, I see. So it's like a Linux based, but you'd have to maybe specifically seek it out. Okay, good enough. Canonical name. Can you give me a question in the style I asked for canonical name? Oops. C name. Don't know what canonical name is. So it's so it's a DNS record and domain aliasing. Okay, canonical name. We'll change this one. We haven't had for a while. See. Then we gotta make sure we getting hungry. Okay, so canonical name. A CNAME record in DNS is used to alias one domain name to another. Instead of pointing directly to an IP address, it points to another canonical true domain name, which then resolves to the IP. Used for domain direction. Oh, www.example.com to example.com. Okay. Helps load balancing CDNs, and CDN was Content Delivery Network. Don't remember what that was. This is going great. And branding consistency cannot coexist with other records like A or MX. Okay, so A is the address. MX is mail exchange. Is that right? I think I remember that from A+. Mail exchange. Okay. For the same name, resolves indirectly as one extra lookup step. Okay. Ooh, the next one, CPU, Central Processing Unit. This one's an easy one. Can you give me a question in the style I asked for CPU, Central Processing Unit? Yeah, we'll leave it as A. This one's an easy one. We'll still read the summary. The CPU is often called the brain of the computer. It executes instructions from programs by performing basic arithmetic, logic, control, and input-output operations. Contains ALU, arithmetic logic unit, and CU, control unit. I've never heard of ALU or CU. ALU is not something that's in here. Neither is CU, so we don't really have to worry too much about that. Handles instruction cycles, fetch, decode, execute, store. Performs measured in gigahertz, cores, and threads. Modern CPUs include cache memory pipelines and hyper-threading. So I don't think we'll need to know all about that for the Net Plus. Probably I wouldn't be surprised if there isn't a question that involves a CPU though. I would think that routers and stuff will have CPUs in them of some sort. Not as powerful as your computer, but it would have something. Finally, we'll do one more here. Cyclic redundancy check. I don't know what this one is. Can you give me a question in the style I asked for cyclic redundancy check? Oops. I better do for CRC. Cyclic. We're going to change this. We've had a couple A's here. Let's change this. Let's do another C. I know we did the C last time, but C for cyclic. Gotta remember to change our answer to C. All right. So CRC, cycling. I keep wanting to say cycling. Cyclic redundancy check is an error detecting algorithm used to verify the integrity of data during transmission or storage. It works by generating a checksum based on polynomial division of the data bits and comparing. So is this what's like the memory used in servers? I am completely blanking. Error correcting code. Detects accidental changes to raw data, common in network packets, disk storage, and file formats. Fast and lightweight, ideal for hardware level validation, not designed for error correction. Okay, only detection, so it's not like ECC memory. So there it goes. If I would just kept reading, it would have told me, or it did tell me. I think that's a good place to start because it'll just be easy to remember that we are doing D's. I'm going to very likely be on at some point tomorrow night to do more slides. Don't really know when yet. I'll schedule something. Maybe it'll be later. Just to bang out some more slides. It'd be nice to get these done so I can start going through them. And yeah, I'll be back around 8 Central. I'm going to go take a little break and then work on some Sophia. See if I can't bang out that class real quick, or at least get a good chunk of it done. Let my brain rest for a minute. And then get that going. And then be back around 8. I want to at least finish the that first video that about halfway through, not even halfway through, of the Python. And then kind of see what I'm feeling. I may or may not actually work on the assignment for that, depending on how my brain is feeling. But yeah, so that's it for this one. I'll be back in almost 3 hours. Cheers, peeps.